So over the next few days, I thought that I would show you some of my favourite Indian snacks that you can find in shops in Kigali. Now, a while ago, I did do a video about snacking in Rwanda. And what I wanted to do was just to introduce you to a few other options that you might not have tried before. Now, I grew up in Leicester. I went to primary school in Leicester in the UK, and there is a huge Gujarat community in Leicester. At one point, it had, I think, the largest Diwali celebration outside of India. Now, here in Rwanda and throughout the whole of East Africa, there is also a large Indian community. So many of our large supermarkets here are Indian owned, as well as Sharma's, which is a spice shop in the centre of town near UTC. So there are a lot of Indian snacks that you can find available, but not everybody's seen these before. Not everybody knows what they are. So in a heroic and selfless act, I have decided that I will take on this incredible responsibility of eating all of the Indian snacks to tell you what they are. So some of them are going to be a little bit spicy and some of them are going to be a little bit sweet. So it depends what your palate is. Here we go. Okay, so first up, we've got mini bakarwadi. So I bought these ones in Simba. Now, these are a little bit deceptive because you can tell from the front that they look a little bit like cinnamon rolls, and it's the same when you open them. There we go. Yeah. So it's... let me find one. So it's the same when you get into it. It looks like a tiny miniature cinnamon roll. So you're expecting it to be sweet and cinnamony, but it isn't. It's basically fried dough that's very spicy, if I remember correctly. A little bit sweet. Mostly just tastes like fried pastry. And it's got a bit of a kick to it. Oh, but I like these. They're just... I mean, they won't blow your head off. They're not really, really bad. But they have got a bit of a kick. So if you like something slightly more savoury than sweet with a little bit of heat to it, depending on your heat tolerance, maybe quite a bit of heat to it, then bakarwadi is the way to go. So next up, we've got one called Soan Papdi. Soan Papdi. Now, again, you can find all of these in Simba. There are a few of these snacks that are really dangerous for me. And the reason that they're dangerous is because once I've opened them, I can't stop eating them. And this is one of the worst for me. The moment this packet is open, I'm a goner. Wow, this one's really difficult to get into. Can't get into it. Oh, okay. Oh, it's worth it though. So it comes in a foil wrapped airtight container. I pop the lid off and this is what it looks like. I think everybody's got these flavours that they just remember from childhood and that they associate with comfort and good things. And for me, this is probably the big one. I mentioned before about Diwali, and I loved Diwali as a kid. My dad would take me down to the local park in Leicester, and there would be this massive fireworks display. And after the fireworks, we'd take a walk down Belgrave Road. So Belgrave Road is this big road in Leicester where there's a massive Indian community. And when I was a child, it just felt like there were only 3 types of shop on Belgrave Road. I'm sure there are others, but to me as a child on Diwali, it was either a sweet shop, a sari shop, or a jewellery shop. Now, growing up, I wasn't that interested in jewellery. I loved the saris, but I was too small to wear one really. And so for me, it was the sweet shops. I have got an incredibly sweet tooth. And there's a particular type of Indian sweet that's called yellow penda or yellow peda, and it is my favourite sweet in the whole world ever. And all it is sort of condensed or evaporated milk and cardamom. And so for me, my comfort sweet, this sort of flavor that really just that I just associate with comfort and really good things, is cardamom and milk. I don't think you can go wrong with it. And this smells like yellow pender, and it's also got a very strong flavour of cardamom-y sort of. I don't know if there is any milk in it, but it's got a similar flavour for me. So they're not the easiest thing to eat. Let me find a spoon. Okay, the reason that these aren't easy to eat is because they kind of separate as you try to lift them. So I'm not going to be very delicate about this. Let me try and lift this one here. So they're in cubes, but as you lift them, they kind of just crumble. And the reason that they crumble is they've got this crazy texture, and I love it. It's basically, in the UK, we'd call it candy floss. It's like very, very dense candy floss. I think America, you call it cotton candy. But it's that texture. It's like very condensed little cubes of candy floss that just happen to taste of cardamom and milk. The cardamom. Oh, I love it. It is literally cardamom flavoured sugar, and it's delightful. It's really fluffy. It's just like, I don't know, cotton wool. It's eating like cardamom cotton wool. I love it. So it's got no spice in it at all. It just tastes like cardamom. So yeah, if you ever see this and you have a very sweet tooth, get it. But you might have to ration it, otherwise you just kind of keep eating it. So definitely one of my favourites. Hi guys, it's a really dark and dreary evening in Kigali tonight. So I'm just about to pop on Netflix. My friend Laura's got me watching Vikings, which I'm quite enjoying. And I'm going to tuck into that, and I'm going to tuck into this. So this is probably my favourite snack of all. It's called Katamitha on the bag. Now, in the UK, you can often buy this kind of mixture in most corner shops. And in the UK, we just use a blanket term, which is Bombay mix. So any kind of snack that's a mixture of these ingredients that you can just sit there and eat whilst you're watching TV, most people in the UK just refer to it as Bombay mix. Now, there are tons of different types of Bombay mix. And again, if you go to Simba, and I've kind of become the poster child for Simba at the moment. I didn't intend to do that, but you can find all of these things there. But watch out for the colour of the bag, okay? So the purple bag is very spicy. It's much more savoury and much more spicy. This is my absolute favourite. So this is the brown bag, and I absolutely adore this. It's called Sweet and Salty Mix, and I don't know if you've ever had sweet and salty popcorn, but it's the same kind of thing. It's like salt and sugar. And so it's got a very tangy but sweet taste. And again, just like the last snack, I have to be very, very careful with this, because once this bag is open, I find it so hard to stop. So if you're like me, maybe you want to put it into smaller bags and containers and just like take out a smaller bag at a time. So Bombay mix is made up of a mixture of ingredients. It's largely made up of thick, crunchy noodles, which are made from gram flour. So gram flour is ground chickpea flour. And from this chickpea flour, they make two sort of sizes. They make bhuja, which are these thick noodles, which are sort of about the width of your little finger, and they're nice and crunchy. And then you have these little ones, which I think are called sev, which are like small fried noodles of gram flour. And in this bag, they've added peanuts and peas and little pieces of puffed rice to that. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I shouldn't feel too bad about this, because this is a balanced diet. You know, it's got nuts, it's got rice, it's got peas. Peas are green, they're vegetables, you know. So to me, that's a balanced diet. So yeah, just look out for these. They're fantastic. I love these. This is a big bag. You could share this with your friends. Like I say, if you like things that are really hot and spicy and savoury, look for the purple bag. But if you like things that are a bit sweeter and Yeah, that's very much the brown bag for me. That's my favourite. So moving on to the last item on this list, and it's one that I'm really excited about because I've never tried it before. So when we used to go down Belgrove Road for Diwali, and you had the sweet shops, and there was my favourite sweet, which was the yellow penda, and you used to have lots of other very traditional Indian sweets like jalebi, which is it's like fried dough in sugar syrup, and another one that's very, very famous and traditional is gulab, which I guess the easiest way to explain that, at least to a British person, is like it's little balls of syrup sponge. So it's the little balls of sponge cake, kind of soaked or steeped in sugary syrup. And if you want to try that in Kigali, you can go to India Khazana, which is a very famous Indian restaurant in Kigali. And on their dessert menu, they have got gulab, so you can get that to try. You can also get kulfi, which is Indian ice cream, and it's cardamom flavoured ice cream, and it is so, so good. I love the ice cream at India Khazana. But anyway, so I was walking through, I think it was Simba Supermarket again. They also sell it at Sharma's. And I saw little boxes of gulab. And I was looking at this thinking, that looks interesting. But I didn't buy it because I thought it was just the flour for making it. I thought it was like a self-making cake kit. You know, I thought I could bring it home and then I'd have to make it and roll the little balls and make the sugar syrup. I thought it was going to be kind of complicated. My friend Malvika makes the most incredible gulab at home. She's really, really talented sweet maker. And, you know, she always tells me when I ask about the sweet, she tells me, you know, it takes a lot of work. So I never bought the box because I thought I'd have to make it. And then I realised the other day that it's not. It's fully ready prepared in a sealed bag, the little balls and the syrup all together. So I almost bought one of those, but sitting right next to the gulab, which is this lovely sort of goldeny colour, were these ones called rasgulla, which are white. And I've never seen these before. I've never had these before. So I sort of looked at it and thought, oh, and they're really cheap. I think they're under 5,000, something like 4,500. I can't remember. They're quite cheap. And so I thought, well, you know, if I'm going to try something, I might as well try the one that I've never had before. So this is rasgulla. I don't know what that is. I have no idea what it tastes like, but I'm ready to find out. So I think this should be fully ready prepared. The only thing is, it said on here somewhere, there we are, consume the content on the same day. It's currently the evening now, so I've got to eat the entire box by midnight, otherwise I don't know what happens. I'm sure that they survive. I'm sure that they survive for a little while. Oh, I was expecting to get like a plastic bag with them in. It's a tin. It's a tin can with a little ring pull. It's quite a big one. So, let's see what rasgulla looks like. Ooh, this could be nice. Actually, it doesn't say anything. Am I supposed to heat them up or anything? Because when you get gulab, it's usually heated up so that the syrup's nice and runny. It doesn't seem to say anything on here about cooking it. Ingredients: refined sugar, water, milk solids, rose water, and preservatives. So it's mostly going to be milk solids and rose water, both of which I like. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about having to cook it, so let's see what it looks like. I bought a little tray so that you can see this. I'm going to pour them in. Hold on. Oh, ha 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 ha, I can't get the top of the tin off far enough to get the little balls out. They're a little bit stuck in there. I'm going to get a fork. Okay, so you do get quite a lot of them. There's a whole sort of tub of them here. I think you can see. I can't really tip it, otherwise the syrup's going to go everywhere. But let's see what they taste like. Let's try a little bit of the syrup. Oh, this is going to be good. That's literally sugar and rose water. Let's see. Okay, so they're quite thick. They're quite dense. They don't really smell very much. A little bit of rose water. Okay. I wasn't too sure what to expect. They're very much like gulab. They're kind of like a spongy kind of thing, but I don't know if you can hear this. Hold on, let me put them down. Let's see if you can hear this if I get close to the microphone. Hold on. It's really, really squeaky. It's like if you eat halloumi cheese, it is exactly that kind of halloumi cheese squeak. So in the UK, you call halloumi squeaky cheese because when you're eating it, it kind of has this texture against your teeth that just squeaks. I don't really remember that happening with gulab, you know. That's literally like sponge pudding. And I don't know if it's squeaky because that's how it's supposed to be, or if it's squeaky because it comes in a tin and it's not freshly made. I don't know. I'm not so sold on the texture here. I think I prefer sort of sponge cake to this kind of slightly, I don't know how to describe it. It's not really rubbery. I don't know. It's not quite as soft and melt in the mouth as I'm used to. But I really like the flavour of the rosewater sugar syrup because what is not to like about sugar? So yeah, I mean, they're okay. They're interesting. Now I might just run out and get the traditional gulab and see whether or not it tastes the same, do a quick taste comparison. Hi guys, just got out of the shower. I couldn't end this video without running down the shop and getting an actual box of gulab, so gulab jamun. And this is the one that I do know. And I wanted to compare it because I wasn't really that enamored with the rasgulla. That was, so I want to see whether or not it's just that I don't like that particular sweet or whether or not it's because it comes in a tin. So I do know what this is supposed to taste like. And it says on the box, for better taste, heat or microwave the contents before serving. So usually you do eat this warm. So I'm going to just take a quick look at them and then I'm going to pop them in a saucepan and heat them up. Okay, so I've heated these up. You need to be a bit careful because it's literally sugar syrup, and when sugar gets hot, it gets really, really hot. So I've kind of let it just cool down a little bit. Oh, I think I'm going to like these. Oh, so these are nice and warm. Let's try the gulab. Yeah, no, that's good. That's really nice. Definitely a lot better than the rasgulla. I like these, but let them cool down before you bite into them. They need to be warm, not hot. But yeah, this one, I think the rasgulla tasted more like, I guess, a bit more like rose water, whereas these taste a little bit more like cardamom, which my favourite. I highly recommend these ones. So guys, that was my tour of Indian snacks in Kigali. Let me know if you've tried any and let me know which ones you like. And let me know if I've missed anything that I should maybe include next time. So, Murebeha.